What's good, baby? This is Brian Mazik, aka Franchise Play, coming to you with another Ultimate Legends update. This roster's coming along pretty decently. It's going to take a while, though, because it's 150 creative player slots, and I'm planning on using them all so I can have an awesome roster. That's why I'm doing the other MyLeague series, which is the Going Home series, because I know I'll put together that roster much quicker. I should be finished with that one in the next week or so. So that's why I am doing that, because this one's going to run a minute. This is Rick Barry, and got an 82 overall, got 15 badges. I'm going to let y'all know just before we even go in and look at this, I tried for a while to try to get this right, and I'm not real happy with the way it came out. I tried the best I could. I just couldn't get. It's the hairstyle. The hairstyle is two things. The hairstyle isn't. You can't really find. They don't have a hairstyle available to match much of any of the hairstyles he ever had. The nose, the bridge of the nose needs to actually be a little bit thinner. So those two things were like the biggest draw. The biggest problems basically. That's why we couldn't get quite as accurate of a Rick Barry. So I was like, okay, well, you spent a lot of time on Rick Barry, so you need to go ahead and move on. But yeah, so that was the reason why we couldn't get him quite right. A lot of people don't realize just really how good Rick Barry was. Like they don't realize it. The year I took was the 66-67 season with the San Francisco Warriors. Get this. 35.6 points per game. Yeah, for real. 9.2 rebounds. He shot 88% from the free throw line. Now, they didn't have the 3-point line yet. As a matter of fact, he went to the ABA the next year, and they had the 3-point line, but it was still kind of like it was like a trick shot at that point, So he really didn't really get a chance to play with the 3-pointer as a real weapon. But this is the type of dude that for sure would have been a 3-point gunner. And so I kind of took the liberty of saying, yes, that's what he would have been. And you can see I gave him a really good 3-point line, 3-point shooting rating. I think this is a pretty safe and fair assessment to say that he would have ended up with that, right? So Golden State is where I put him. He played the majority of his time with that franchise, even though he spent some time with in the ABA in New York, Washington, and in Houston in the NBA to finish his career out. So that is Rick Barry, and like I said, I used the 66-67 season. Hey, it is what it is, right? The last two guys are both with the Wizards organization. So we're going to start off, you saw one of them right there, but we're going to start off with Elvin Hayes, the Big E. Now, he actually was with a few teams. The Rockets, he actually played college basketball at the University of Houston, too. But the best years were with the Washington organization. So it was kind of tough to find the season to take of his because he had so many good ones. Elvin Hayes was a monster, an absolute monster, one of the greatest big men to ever live, right? That's why he got an 89 overall rating, 22 badges. The year I took was the 73-74 season with the Capital Bullets, which was Washington. 21.4 points a game, 18 rebounds, 3 blocks, 2 assists, 1.1 steals. He was doing it. He didn't really shoot that good from the field. He took a lot of shots, and he was actually starting to shoot the mid-range jump shot a lot. But as a rebounder, defender, Elvin Hayes was a beast. Now, his lukewarm, happy about the way it came out. Lukewarm. It's not. I wouldn't say it's one of the best ones that I did, but I wouldn't say it's one of the worst either. He had a kind of a difficult face in which to grasp all of the, whatever. As you can see, I discovered the striped socks, which I kind of knew they was there, but I didn't think about putting them in. He's wearing the Air Force Ones because all the pictures I saw, he was rocking the Nikes. He had to be one of the first guys in the league to ever really start rocking the Nikes. Because when I'm looking at the other legends, most everybody is like Adidas and the Chucks. But he actually had the Air Force Ones on back in the 70s. So bang, there's that. But he's a beast down low. My son and I did a little test game with the legends, with some of the legends. We did Washington against Phoenix, so of course I had the Phoenix with Jason Kidd and Charles Barkley. Well, I had the Bullets and the War Wizards. I used the Bullet uniforms, and Elvin Hayes and this man, Walt Bellamy, were they were down low. They were doing work. Bellamy, 6'11" center. They gave him an 83 overall rating. Only gave him 6 badges. One of the reasons why I only gave him 6 badges was all the stuff that you read. And even my father told me this. He was like, Bellamy was really super talented, but he kind of would fade in and out of games. And I had read other things that would support that. But if you consider that you're saying, this guy didn't even live up to his expectations, and because he was a number 1 overall pick, but he's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer. And the year I took of his, like I said, was 73-74, 21.4 points a game, 18 rebounds, 3 blocks, 2 assists of 1.1 steals. He was that wasn't his year. That was Elvin Hayes. That was his statistics. But Walt Bellamy's season was actually from statistically was actually even better than that. The thing you got to also remember him, he played for the Chicago Packers and the Chicago Zephyrs. So that sounds like that was a Bulls organization, but it wasn't. It's actually the Bullets, the Wizards organization. So he played there for the majority of the beginning of his career. I took his rookie season, the 61-62 years with the Chicago Packers, which, like I said, turned out to be the Wizards, which is the reason why he's on a Wizard organization. 31.6 points a game, 19 rebounds. They weren't keeping block shots at the time, but as you can tell, as a rebounder and a guy on the inside, he was a handful to deal with. Got him with the Chucks. He had knee pads on, and everyone I actually saw a picture of him sitting next to Wilt Chamberlain, shaking Wilt Chamberlain's head. He was actually a little lightweight rival for Chamberlain, but Bellamy's teams weren't ever as good as Chamberlain's, and his nickname was Bells. And he was. I mean, if you look at the numbers, man, the numbers, they kind of don't lie. He was doing his thing, but I did kind of listen to what I had read and some of the accounts that I saw. That he wasn't like the most assertive type, so that's why I gave him the beta dog badge, and some of the other ones that would suggest that he wasn't like necessarily a take charge kind of a dude. So that's Walt Bellamy. There it is. We got some decent stuff going on. I'm putting the guys with their teams now, at least the legends. So you see we got the Rick Barry there, the Suns. We got the Jason Kidd and the Charles Barkley, and we got, am I missing something? Indiana Pacers. We got the Reggie Miller, which is one of the first ones I did. Dan Issel with the Nuggets. We got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with the Lakers. We also have Adrian Dantley with the Utah Jazz. And I got Bob Pettit with the Hawks. Now I'm glad I pulled this up. I'd actually spelled his name wrong. My son pointed it out. He was like, Dad, it's 2 T's. I was like, oh, righty then. So yeah, and it was funny because when I changed his name, then the PA announcer in the game started saying his name instead of saying his nickname, which of course you cannot choose which nickname. They just give him one and it never matches anything you're trying. But that's just one of the little slight flaws in there. Who else did I have here? And this is, like I said, just so far. We got Artis Gilmore with the Bulls. And we got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with the Bucks. And then we got Wilt Chamberlain, Charles Barkley with the Sixers, and Dolph Schayes with the Sixers. So that's what we got so far, man. Still working on putting this together and working on that going home roster as well. So I'm roster man right now. So it's cool. That's what I like to do. Y'all like this video, subscribe, follow, and peace.